Shinikri, welcome back. Are you perchance here to seek Ryle? I'm given to understand she has a task for which she desires your assistance. Then I shall fetch her at once. Pray wait a moment.
Shinikri, my thanks for coming. If you're now available, I'd like you and Raha to assist me in the task I had mentioned.
For you to call on Shinikri, I assume the task in question is somewhat more exciting than sorting through paperwork, which, I am pleased to add, I have finished. So if Shinikri is ready, then so am I. Our venture to the bounty has only served to whet my appetite for field work.
Not to oversell things, but I suspect you won't be disappointed. Ere I divulge the details, however, permit me to provide some background. As you know, our organization, the Students of Baldesion, was founded by my grandfather, Galov. Our stated mission was to uncover the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpret her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. We've since learned the whole truth, and it might be said that we've fulfilled our mission. But our work is far from over. In the course of our endeavors, we've also sought to devise countermeasures against threats that come to light. Our involvement with the Warring Triad is an example of such. 'Tis my belief that, in continuing to seek out the unknown and dealing with threats, we best carry on the student's mission. We best honor grandfather and his comrades, who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect the world. Forgive me, I didn't mean to darken the mood. In saying all this, I simply wanted to clarify our organization's purpose for a new age. In line with said purpose, I've been reviewing new requests, and one in particular jumped out at me. It comes from none other than Rambros, of the Sons of Saint Koinak.
Truly. Has something happened in Mordhona, then?
So it would seem, and he wishes to entrust the matter to us. While his missive is sparse on details, he writes that it lies beyond the son's expertise. Uncharted territory are the exact words he used. I'd like you to meet with Rambros and conduct a preliminary survey. What say you? Wonderful. When you are ready, pray make your way to Revenant's Toll. I shall let Rambros know to receive you there. I must remain here to oversee our operations, but should it transpire that more hands are needed, don't hesitate to send word.
Well, there's no time like the present. If you could go on ahead to Revenant's Toll, I shall make ready and then be on my way. There you are, Shinikri. 'Twould seem we're early. My apologies for the wait. Rambros, what a pleasure to see you again. How have you been? The pleasure is all mine, my friend. I've been well, and it gladdens me to see that you are too. Now, I know you have many demands upon your time, so I shall explain the particulars of our request at once. Recently, an explorer came to us who claimed to have discovered the Phantom Realm. The Phantom Realm. So this is what you meant by uncharted territory. You're not familiar? Perhaps unsurprising, given that it is a lesser-known legend. This legend holds that, across Eorzea, there exists a realm that appears as a mirage. Though visible from a distance, it fades away as one draws near. While it has featured in myth since ancient times, the realm's existence could not be proven, and thus it is seldom mentioned in literature. In spite of this, fueled by rumors of the occasional sighting, the myth has persisted, and continues to capture the hearts and minds of explorers. That you yourself should reach out to us. It is real, then. When first the explorer in question approached us, we doubted him. But we couldn't doubt the evidence of our senses. Nay, the realm is real, as you will soon see for yourselves. Good gods! A part of me still struggles to believe it, but we have no reason to doubt you. Suffice it to say we are eager to see the realm too. Whatever truth awaits, I pray you will succeed in finding it. Seek out the explorer, one Dirik. He has seen more of the realm than us, and should be willing to serve as your guide. I asked him to accompany me here, but he preferred to continue exploring on his own. He will be somewhere near the banks of Silver Tear Lake, I expect. Understood. Our thanks, Rambros. Come, let us split up and look for our explorer. The explorer doesn't appear to be in the area. You see a small OPO. It couldn't possibly be the explorer, or could it? Just in case you were entertaining the thought, Shinekri, that OPO isn't our explorer. I have the man in question here with me. I am Dirik, the one who discovered the Phantom Realm. My apologies for making you search for me. Curious about this creature, are you? I found him injured during one of my journeys and tended to him. Since then, he has taken to following me around. He's inquisitive but otherwise harmless, so pray pay him no mind. You are the hero who delivered our star from doom, are you not? What good fortune that one as capable as you should lend her aid. To be clear, our organization has yet to accept the commission. Before we can make a decision, we would conduct a preliminary survey. Will you guide us to the Phantom Realm? Of course. I will show you to the entrance at once. the gate to a realm long dreamed of by explorers. What are you? Impressive, isn't it? When the gate manifested, so too did this magic, allowing one to thus walk upon water. Someone conceived the means to do this at will? An intriguing individual. It's perfectly safe, I assure you. Come. By the 12, you truly can walk here. What magic is this? By what means is it perpetuated? Forgive me. Let us continue on. This is the Phantom Realm. To think that the entrance would lie over Silver Tear Lake. There is nothing out of the ordinary with the environment. The sights, the sounds, the smells, all appear as they should be in nature. That is to say, this place is no illusion. I bid you welcome to the navel of the Phantom Realm, the Omphalos. Well, is it what you were expecting? The Omphalos, you say this place is called? A name of my own conception, I confess. I felt we needed something to call it by. Lest you wonder, the word means navel in an ancient tongue, an allusion to Mordhona's location in the heart of Aldnard. As you can see, there are man-made structures, and the place appears well kept. Yet there isn't a single soul in evidence. 'Tis my hope that you will help me to shed light upon this realm, to learn who created it, and to what end. I should also like to know why it has revealed itself now. Was it simply chance that kept it hidden, or something more? In any case, let us begin by taking a look around. A stone monument has been erected here. By whose hand, you cannot say, but the motifs wrought into its base appear familiar. In the distance, you see what appears to be the crystal tower. Though the clouds makes it difficult to be sure, it would seem that you are in the sky above Silver Tear Lake. No such isle could be seen from the outside, however. Pray do not mind me. Take a look around at your leisure. The OPO seems quite at home, wouldn't you say? How many times has Derek come here, I wonder? A number of structures such as this can be seen in the area. What purpose could they possibly serve? The architecture is unlike anything seen in Eorzea. Truly exquisite stuff. Finished looking around, have you? What are your impressions? We have had only a cursory glance, but this is truly a mysterious place. The gleaming spire rising beyond the clouds, that is most certainly the Crystal Tower. And judging by its aspect, we are a considerable distance above Silver Tear Lake, which would suggest the gate we entered is a teleporter. However, if this isle lies where it appears to lie, then it couldn't have escaped the Battle of Silver Tear Skies unscathed. Which is to say we are in Mordhona, and yet we are not. 'Tis as if we were displaced from our world, if only slightly. Displaced is an apt way to put it. Was there aught else you noticed? The motifs upon yonder structure, they are unmistakably the marks of the 12. By which I posit that this was created to be a place of worship. But by whom? I cannot think of any who could have possibly built such grand premises, never mind magically conceal it. At least, not in the wake of the Battle of Silver Tear Skies. This is a mysterious place indeed. Well, it seems there is but one solution for our ignorance, a thorough investigation. For this, we will require more manpower and supplies, among other things. With your permission, we will confer with our representative, Kryl, and make the necessary arrangements for a formal investigation. If that is what must be done to commence your work in earnest, then by all means. Without further ado, then, let us return to Charlayan.
Hold, mortals. You profane this sacred realm with your very presence, and must answer for your irreverence.
I am Virgit, the builder. Virgit. Then, the 12 are real? Let there be no doubt, we are not simulacra born of mortal faith. Nay, we 12 are divinities true. And in Hydaelyn's absence, we are the star's rightful rulers. Its will.
Closely have we watched mankind. And we have determined that you, champion of Hydaelyn, pose a threat to our ascension. You were foolish to wander into our realm. We could destroy you with ease here and now, but as divinities, we must demonstrate grace and forbearance. There is but one path. We must weigh this mortal's worth. Here, let there be a trial.
While the mortal would invariably be destroyed, it would at least provide us with a diversion. What? You suddenly appear, and expect us to simply comply with your whims. Protest if you wish, but mortal logic means naught to gods. You will abide by our laws. Lo. The gateway to our sanctums lies open.
Show us the strength of mankind. Show us the honor of mankind. Show us the spirit of mankind.
If man would remain the master of his own destiny, then assemble your comrades and come, and prove your worthiness. 7 Hells. During my previous forays, nothing like this ever happened. I encountered not a single soul, and certainly not gods. And by their own admission, they mean to take over the star. What are we to do? The situation has indeed taken an unexpected turn, but we must try to think clearly. The 12 have long been revered and worshipped in Eorzea, and myths about them abound. But to my knowledge, they have never thus appeared so openly before people. For these beings to suddenly reveal themselves just when we're here, claim supremacy over the star, and challenge Chinnikri to a trial. Too much about this feels odd, and it gives me pause. Fair enough. Yet as it stands, it seems we can't dismiss the threat either. Tis true that even Hydaelyn and Zodiark were primals, and we cannot discount the possibility, but we know too little to draw conclusions. In any event, if these beings seek dominion over the star as they say, what happens here may have far-reaching implications. To that end, I believe we should take action. Suffice it to say you are with me? Then the students of Baldician will officially tend to the situation? In the course of studying the star's mysteries, we have undertaken to deal with any threats that may arise. This is no different. To think that we would encounter the 12. Right, let us deliberate a course of action. Derek, know you aught of these beings' sanctums? Aye, they are domains in the phantom realm that lie beyond each gate. I've explored them all. Perhaps due to etheric instability, there are times when one can enter when ordinarily one cannot. But 'twould seem the way has been opened for us. While I encountered no gods during my previous forays, I saw enough to know my way around. I am but a humble explorer and cannot contend with gods. But if you would be willing to protect me, I will serve as your guide. Assemble your comrades, Virgit bade us. As strong as I know you are, we know little and less about our foes. Neither their strength nor their true nature. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to face them by ourselves. Nay, we must choose an approach that affords us the best chance at victory. To that end, this time I shall work behind the scenes. While you set forth to answer the gods' challenge, I will do what I can in my capacity as a student. For one, it would behoove us to arm ourselves with knowledge about the 12, and I shall begin by a PPRizing trial of the situation. By thus utilizing our resources to the fullest, we shall overcome whatever trials await. mechanical spire ahead could have been plucked straight out of legend.
So,
you are
resolved to face me. Come, children of man.
Builder has been made to yield. Intriguing. Then the Destroyer shall take your measure. After you have provided my servant with some sport. Ahead stands a statue I have fashioned for our contest. Come, show me the strength of mankind. Upon the ground.
Come, mortals, enter my realm, if you dare. You will be scoured by the light of the sun. it just a mirage? Or something more? just a mirage, or something more.
Keeper of the realm of the living.
I am Thalls, keeper of the realm of the dead. Prepare to be judged, children of man.
just begun. Let us proceed to your judgment. We, the traitors, shall weigh your soul! The moment of judgment is come.
been found worthy.
You're safe. Thank goodness. I rushed here as soon as I heard the tidings from Raha. Is this true? Beings claiming to be the 12 have appeared?
You defeated them all? Incredible. I had no doubt that you would succeed, but I'm no less impressed for it. Gahahaha. Seldom have I felt such exhilaration. To think that the day would come that we would put on an act for men. I must say, Birgit, you played the villain's role to perfection. Come now, Master, I merely did what was necessary to compel the mortals to confront us. Still, it pained me to speak to our beloved children so unkindly. So you say, Azima, yet you seemed happy enough to fight them. You did not forget the true purpose of the trial, I hope? Well, I couldn't help but be excited. And do not tell me you felt differently. Consider yourselves fortunate, children. 'Tis rare indeed to see Thal in such high spirits.
What in the world is happening? Didn't you say you had defeated them?
Did they manage to flee? Or perhaps were resummoned. Put up your weapons. You have naught to fear from us. Rest assured we are not summoned beings. We do not drain the land of ether, nor do we take men into our thrall. But, what of the gods who were summoned during the calamity? The ones Master Losoix called forth to protect the realm. That was not us, but a primal born of your fervent prayers for salvation. Indeed. That the worst of the calamity was averted and the realm restored in its aftermath was a direct testament to the power of your hopes. Just as men harbor hopes, so too do we gods. To realize our aspirations, 'tis essential that we do battle with you. Thus did I falsely claim that we sought to rule the world. 'Twas deceitful conduct unworthy of a divinity, and I must apologize. Not only for that, but for using my power to do harm besides.
These hopes of yours, won't you tell us what they are?
We cannot. If you wish to know the truth, you must discover it for yourselves. 'Tis not easy to move forward when there is seemingly no destination. But if you press on, you will eventually arrive at the answers you seek. You will understand why we hold our peace, and far more besides. You will learn the very truth of our existence. Go forth, mortals, and seek knowledge of us. And when the time is right, we shall meet again in this place. We have met and exchanged words with the 12. When I pause to think, I can scarce believe it. When I first explored the Phantom Realm, it appeared to be unoccupied. To think that it was home to the gods.
As if hearing about your battling the 12 weren't shocking enough, to have them appear before my very eyes. Suffice it to say it's been an interesting day. While much about them remains shrouded in mystery, at least they seem open to reason. In considering our next step, I should very much like to hear your detailed account of them. Right after I have a word with our client, that is. Please give me a moment to introduce myself, and then we can review the situation.
'Tis well Kryl could make her way here quickly. She's another one of your colleagues, I take it?
Greetings. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldician. Do I have the pleasure of addressing Derek, the explorer who sought aid in investigating this place?
I am Derek. And this here is a baby Opo.
Yes, I can see that. Doesn't it have a name?
None that I know of. Nor would I presume to bestow one, for that would be condescending.
I see. That's very considerate of you. So, I understand you explored the various Phantom Realms with Derek. Will you recount to me the experience?
So while the gods tested you sorely, you did not sense any malicious intent. As Birgit said, they wished to do battle with us. But 'twould seem they do not necessarily wish to cause us harm. Though much and more about this perplexes, mayhap 'tis safe to assume that they are not primals. As you may recall, Livingway once told us that the art of summoning as taught by the Asians incorporates the fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Thus do the resultant primals seek to enthrall worshippers, who in turn seek to grow their ranks. But these beings appear to harbor no such desire. If they are primals, then they are unlike those that have been summoned in recent memory. We might suppose that they were created in antiquity in like manner to Hydaelyn, but there is no way to prove it.
Who could they possibly be? And why do they desire battle with man?
Even of your little Eorzea, you know precious little. The true identities of the 12, for instance.
Emmett Selch did say that, didn't he? By which we may assume he knew the truth, and challenged you to seek it out too. Suffice it to say you'll do so, of course.
Insofar as we can ascertain, this is a matter which has implications for the entire star. In light of this, the students of Baldician formally accept the commission. We will investigate the Phantom Realm and the beings who call themselves the 12.
I'm pleased to hear that. Thank you.
Without further ado, then, I will take a look around. There are a few things I'm curious about.
Then with your permission, I will take myself around Eorzea and investigate the worship of those gods we encountered. Shinekri, Derek. Seeing as you've already seen this place, would you care to accompany me? By all means. In which case, could you stay here with Kryl, my friend? It wouldn't do to leave a fair maiden alone. Okay.
Hehe, I shall be glad for the company. Take care, then, and good luck.
So, to explain my plan. 'Tis believed that the 12 were already worshipped during the 3rd astral era, when the Alagan Empire flourished. Come the 5th astral era, those nations that fought in the War of the Magi each took one of the 12 as a guardian deity. This practice has continued to the present day in Eorzea, with some notable regional differences. For instance, Ishgardians hold Halon as absolute, while Sharlayans enjoy a moderate relationship with Thalaic. By visiting various locations in Eorzea and learning about the 12 as they are worshipped, I hope to identify any similarities or differences between them and the beings we encountered. In so doing, I believe we will draw closer to the truth of their identities. For our first destination, I propose we take ourselves to Ralgr's Reach. The place is holy ground for worshippers of the Destroyer, and promises to yield useful details. There you are, Shinekri. This place served as the base of operations for your investigation into Omega, did it not? How delightful to be here together. If you don't mind my making an observation, it seems you enjoy traveling with company. I do. It's something I had dreamed of for a long time. Is that so? What of yourself? Do you normally travel alone? In my wanderings, I much prefer to have solitude. Not that I avoid people or communities, mind you. As a matter of fact, I've been here before, on the trail of the Phantom Realm. Now that I think on it. More often than not, those places where Phantom Realm sightings are known to occur have a tradition of 12 worship. Then I dare to hope that we are on the right track. As I'm sure you know, Ralgr's Reach is home to the Temple of the Fist, the ancient headquarters of the Fist of Ralgr. Raised by the Mad King Theodoric, the temple lay abandoned before the Olomigan resistance claimed it for its operations. While I doubt that much literature has survived over the years, the people here may possess some knowledge of the local faith. So let us split up and make inquiries, and reconvene here afterwards to share findings. Oh, if it isn't Chinikri. Is this man perchance a friend of yours? When last he visited, he shared with me the tales he heard on his journeys. And what amazing tales they were. If you have time, I'd love to hear both of your stories. Alas, we're in some haste. We're investigating the worship of Raalgr, and seek literature on the subject, religious texts and the like. Can any still be found here? Just about all of it is gone, sadly, destroyed by the Empire if not the Mad King before that. But we haven't lost everything. The mighty image of the Destroyer. The tales we share at the campfire, like the legend of our nation's founding. We still have these things, and they were a source of great comfort and strength to us in our darkest moments. I see. If you don't mind, I would be obliged to hear your stories this time. Chinikri, rest assured I have this well in hand. Feel free to carry on as you were. Read the words inscribed on the monument. A storm of blood approaches fast, hell's open, heavens weep. For no one soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. Once upon a time, Lys explained to you their meaning, that we must prepare ourselves for the strife and sorrow that will inevitably come.
Yes? If you have business, please make it quick. I'm due to meet with someone any moment now.
Forgive me my delay.
Why, if it isn't the adventurer who kindly escorted me to the Temple of the Fist. Are you studying monks too, perchance? If so, you ought to work together with me and my colleague here. Few things are finer than joining heads with like-minded folk. Researching the worship of the Destroyer, you say? Why didn't you mention it sooner? This is a copy of Destructivity, a scripture of the Fist of Raalgr. The original is one of the few texts that survived the temple's razing, and was recovered by a monk named Widargelt. I went to the trouble of having this made for my colleague, only for her to say she doesn't need it. So I will offer it to you instead. Lest you forget, this is your passion, not mine. I'm simply assisting you as a favor, and I'd thank you not to put us in danger. Ah, but danger is the crucible in which the monk tempers body and mind. So sublime, monks. Well, we had best return to our work. Till next time, adventurer.
Shinikri, what were you able to learn? A copy of one of the scriptures, you say? A moment while I skim over it. I see. This chapter appears to be a record of the construction of the great image of Ralgr, written in a style that suggests folklore was committed to parchment. When the deluge of the sixth umbral calamity threatened Eorzea, the ancestors of the Alomigans were guided to safety by a comet. Believing that it was sent by Ralgr, they came to hold him in the highest. This much of the tale, I had been familiar with. But according to the scripture, among those refugees who followed the comet, some claimed to have caught sight of Ralgr himself. Their accounts were passed down through the centuries, and worshippers of the destroyer pieced them together to give shape to yonder statue. I must say, it bears more than a passing resemblance to the being we encountered. Were that Ralgr primal, the explanation for the similarities would be simple. That is, the statue gives rise to a unified interpretation of Ralgr's appearance, which in turn lends form to the primal. However, this fails to account for what inspired the likeness in the first place. If the scripture is to be believed, it was the sightings during the sixth umbral calamity. Yet for those witnesses to be able to recognize Ralgr, they would have needed an agreed-upon idea of his appearance beforehand. If we then consider the history of 12 worship, that it already existed in the third astral era, it would not be ridiculous to think that these divinities existed even prior to that. So the question is, did these beings give rise to their respective faiths, or are they primals born of them?
I thought we had made it clear. We are not summoned beings. Since time immemorial, our domains have lain scattered across Eorzea. As a matter of fact, one of those in which you set foot is nearby. 'Tis not unusual for mortals to glimpse us.
That voice. Could they be? Indeed. I am Birgit, and the hawk beside me is Ralgr. I shall elaborate upon my master's explanation. We thus disguise ourselves when we wish to observe the world without, for being seen in our true forms would violate our laws of conduct. Yet though we similarly disguise our sanctums, veiling them in illusion, rents are known to manifest when the surrounding ether is unstable. In such a time, should a gifted mortal chance to be near, they may inadvertently catch sight of us. Of course, during an umbral calamity, etheric imbalance occurs on a star-wide scale, the ideal condition for seeing the phantom realm. Precisely how many times we have been seen, we ourselves have no way of knowing, but that is a sound assumption to make. Well, Birgit, I believe that much shall suffice by way of an apology for our deception. Shall we? Indeed, that is all we are at liberty to reveal. Fare you well, children of man. Aside from their reticence where it concerns their identity and objective, these divinities are certainly approachable. If what they said was true, and their worship can be traced back to their sightings, it would serve to explain one thing. According to my research, in the field of comparative mythology, Rhalgr is often observed to bear many similarities with Rama. Assuming both were inspired by the Rhalgr of the Phantom Realm, their divergence may be attributable to differences in culture between man and Sylph. So you believe that they gave rise to the prevailing faiths of Eorzea? Given available evidence, yes, I am inclined to. Yet none of this explains their presence. How and when did beings of such power come into existence? Oh, 'tis you, Kryl. Has something happened? Truly. Very well, I shall take care of it. Kryl has recruited an acquaintance to aid in our investigation, an authority on mythology. I must go and receive her at the sunken temple of Karn, where she is currently conducting field work, after a brief detour to prepare a little something. Conveniently, then Alan is home to countless adherents of Nald Thal. While I tend to business, may I ask the two of you to make inquiries in Ul'dah? Very well. Excellent. I will join you as soon as I'm able. By your leave. So, it's to be just you and me in Ul'dah. I suppose it can't be helped. What strange manners for the one who proposed the survey to so promptly abandon it. I'll not lie, I am not given to working one-on-one with another. But I suppose I agreed to this arrangement. Well, we had best be on our way. As I recall, Mulvaneth Sacrarium is still closed for construction, so let us try our luck at Urzeneth Ossuarit. You have no objection to traveling separately, I trust? Good. I shall see you in Ul'dah. Ah, you're here. Of the deific twins Nald Thal, Here they worship Thal, who keeps the realm of the dead and weighs the worth of men's souls. In contrast, Nald keeps the world of the living and oversees their financial fortunes. Their names are borne by many a location, and religious organizations, some extremely wealthy and powerful, exist to nurture faith in them. On the surface, it may seem strange that a hub of commerce such as Ul'dah could be home to such spiritual people. But it is actually quite logical when one considers that their religion is, in essence, commerce. In any event, Nald Thal is a truly unusual divinity. What was originally held to be one god came to be worshipped as twins. Indeed, rather than two distinct entities, that which we encountered was a single being possessed of two personalities. Did I mishear? Did he just say they encountered Nald Thal? And while his appearance differs somewhat to the divinities worshipped, it cannot be denied that there are striking similarities in their nature. Forgive me, this is hardly the place for such a conversation. Let us continue it elsewhere. "'Twas careless of me to openly speak of our encounter with the divinity within a place where he is worshipped. Hereon, I shall exercise greater caution. I thank you for alerting me to my indiscretion, and ask that you keep it between us. Now then, to finish our conversation. As I mentioned, though the Nald Thal as worshipped by men appears somewhat different, there are undeniable similarities in their nature. I believe we may report this much to Jirahatia. With that, our work here is done. Rather than waiting for our companion to arrive, perhaps we might seek him out at the sunken temple. He mentioned needing to make a detour. Were we to set out now, we ought to be able to catch up to him. After all, we hardly know one another. Rather than loiter with an unfamiliar person, 'tis better to use our time productively. Wouldn't you agree? Then let us head to the sunken temple of Karn at once. You're here, thank goodness. I found this woman collapsed, though I can see no obvious injuries. By her attire, she appears to be some manner of scholar.
Water. Food. In my bag, please.
I see. Shinikri, may I trouble you to find her bag? I will stand lookout in the meantime. Examining the bag, you find a skin with a little water left, but there appears to be no PROV ender. For now, you decide to take the water to the woman.
So thirsty. So hungry. Not enough. Food. I need food.
I have not saved dried meat, tough as leather. Do you have anything easier to consume? Shinikri, Derek. What are you doing here? Actually, that can wait. Steady, Snowgime. I brought you Archon loaf and coffee, made sweet and creamy, just as you like it.
I am reborn. Washed down with a sweet beverage, the life-giving nutrients of Archon loaf permeate my being from head to toe. Thank you, kind stranger. However you knew my preferred source of sustenance, you are truly a godsend. Oh, it's you, Raha. What brings you here? I don't recall mentioning my field work. It's for my research into the Beledion's worship of Azima, you see.
Haven't you heard from Kryle? The students are presently investigating the 12, and we would prevail upon your expertise. May I introduce Snowgime, expert mythologist. She is a collaborator of the students, and like many a Charlayan scholar, is passionate about her endeavors to the point of forgetting to eat. Seeing as she has recovered, may I ask the two of you to tell her about the Phantom Realm?
The 12 abide in the Phantom Realm, and you exchanged not only words with them, but blows besides? Incredible. And your description of the domains, a thunderous tower in one and a sweltering city in another, are precisely as the heavens of lightning and fire are depicted in legend. In ancient times, worshippers of the 12 believed that there exist 7 heavens and 7 hells. Etherology has since established that departed souls return to the ethereal sea. But it seems those afterlife domains were more than just inventions of mortal imagination. As a pursuer of myths, I must say it feels somewhat anticlimactic to suddenly have these revelations given to me. But more than that, I'm dying to know more. Which is to say, please allow me to join your investigation.
Ahem. We would, of course, welcome your presence. Without further ado, then, let us head to the Omphalos. Kryle awaits us there.
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome, Snowgime. I'm glad you could join us. Kryle, how delightful to see you again. I understand you've been doing a fine job leading the students. But may I say what a lovely place this is? At a glance, this appears to be the highest of the heavens of legend, the 7th heaven. And oh, if those aren't symbols representing the other heavens. I take it those are their respective gateways. I should like to pay them all a visit.
For Snow E. James' benefit, let us review what we have learned thus far, and thence deliberate the next step. The gods reappeared before us in Ralgra's reach, though they were disguised as uncreatures, their laws forbid them from showing their true forms outside their realm. Yet in the event the ambient ether becomes unstable, such as during an umbral calamity, it is possible for the realm, and indeed, the gods themselves, to be glimpsed by mortals. And such sightings, we believe, have given rise to the various faiths practiced throughout Eorzea. As we confirmed in Ul'dah, the Nald Thal worshipped by people and the Nald Thal we encountered here have more similarities than they do differences.
In the course of exploring the Omphalos, two things caught my attention. The first is the gate which lies in the innermost area. If each of the other 6 gates lead to an elementally aspect heaven, and we stand in the 7th heaven as Snowgime says. What, then, lies beyond that last gate? The second is this monument. It harbors some manner of magic, unlike anything I've seen before. I will endeavor to decipher it, but it will take time.
Divinities that have existed since time immemorial, who abide in domains resembling the heavens of legend. Why have they chosen to reveal themselves to mortals, seeking battle? Unless they favor us with more of their secrets, 'twould seem this monument holds the key to solving the mystery.
Indeed. Much and more yet lies beyond our understanding, but we'll keep chasing the truth together. As I'm sure you'll agree, though, this is tiring work, both mentally and physically. We need to pace ourselves. To which end, might I suggest we return to Revenant's Toll and have a rest before we embark on the next stage of our investigation. So rarely do I get to simply chat with colleagues, I had fairly forgotten what it felt like.
Indeed. And it's quite fitting that we should be doing so here at the 7th heaven.
Fitting? That's an understatement if I have ever heard one. The 7th and highest of the heavens, which rules over the remaining 6, was right here in Mor Dhona all this time. This isn't fitting, my friends. It's destiny.
You are obviously well versed in the myths surrounding the heavens and hells. If you don't mind, I should like to hear your thoughts on them.
Invested as they are in their research, it doesn't take much to stoke their passions. My apologies if it makes you uncomfortable.
Having always traveled alone, I'm admittedly not too familiar with such a lively atmosphere. But, I do not mislike it. By the way, the two of you arrived at the sunken temple rather quickly. Did something happen?
Well, as pleasant as this has been, it's past time we returned to the annex. The paperwork for this commission isn't going to complete itself, alas. Then I shall take myself to the Omphalos. There's so much there that I'd like to see.
And I believe I will go for a walk nearby. It's getting a little warm in here.
All right. Do take care, now.
Oh, Shinekri. It's pleasant, isn't it? The smells and sounds of a tavern. It makes one feel alive. And afterwards stepping outside alone and breathing the cool air. I like that just as much. While we await developments, I shall remain here in Revenant's Toll. If there are any tidings, rest assured I will share them with you. Thank you for your help thus far. I doubt so much could have been accomplished without you.